Picture a single flooded street corner operating as its own bizarre microeconomy. On the left, an air-conditioned luxury restaurant. In the middle, a hyper-budget tin-roofed shack. And on the right, braving a downpour, a single food cart huddled under a plastic tarp. If you had to predict which of these three businesses would survive a brutal market test, conventional logic points straight to the one with the deepest pockets and the biggest marketing budget. Yet, by mid-afternoon, the Wells restaurant is completely empty, the cheap shack is facing an angry mob, and that rain-soaked cart has a line of devoted customers stretching around the block. It's a complete inversion of what we expect to see. The customer isn't choosing based on a glossy sign or a temperature-controlled room. They're lining up for something the other two businesses simply haven't been able to replicate. To understand how this happens, we have to look at the exact conditions that built that winning model. It starts with a tragic accident. A severe hit-and-run leaves the youngest brother of a local family paralyzed, burying him and his wife in medical debt they have no way to pay. Instead of helping, the wealthier older brothers pull away to protect their own savings. They abandon the couple to the debt, effectively cutting them out of the family's resources to ensure their own financial safety. This is the starting point for Neha, the youngest wife. She has no startup capital and no safety net. She spends her mornings scavenging wet scrap metal in a storm just to afford the few basic ingredients she needs to start cooking. With no money for equipment or help, she is forced to build a business that relies entirely on her own physical labor. It's a model born out of the fact that she has absolutely nothing else to give. That high-effort production starts with the tools. Instead of using pre-mixed powders, Neha manually crushes her spices on a traditional stone mortar and cooks over a makeshift brick stove on a leaky rooftop. She drags her cart directly into a torrential rainstorm, refusing to leave the corner until she finds her first customers. She isn't there to build a brand. She's there because her husband's medicine depends on every single plate she sells. Within hours, the smell of the fresh spices pulls people in from across the street. She completely sells out her inventory, securing her first real profit by the end of the day. Because she has to grind every spice by hand and tend to an open flame, the flavor is deeper and more vibrant than anything produced in a commercial kitchen. The physical labor she puts in translates directly into the taste of the food. When a product is made with that level of care, customers can tell. They aren't just buying a meal, they're responding to the effort the competition won't provide. This chart maps the competition's flaw. The luxury restaurant's investment is high, but time spent on food is zero. Relying on shortcuts, it expects expensive decor to hide a mediocre product. The budget model cuts costs entirely, dropping quality into the red. To keep plates at 30 rupees, the owner sources the cheapest possible ingredients and ignores basic kitchen safety. The strategy isn't about quality, it's about cutting corners until there's nothing left but the price tag. Both of these models fail the same test. One assumes customers only care about the building, while the other assumes they only care about the price. Both ignore the one thing Neha can't afford to miss: the integrity of what's actually on the plate. The market reaction is immediate. The luxury restaurant sits empty, as people know the difference between fresh spices and bagged powder. The cheap shock collapses even faster, with low-cost ingredients poisoning the patrons. And by the next day, an angry crowd is outside demanding their money back. The winner is the humble cart under the tarp. Even with rain pouring down, people are willing to stand in the mud and wait for Neha's cooking, completely ignoring the air-conditioned seats and the bargain prices nearby. In the end, comfort and low prices only go so far. When people are actually hungry, they'll ignore a fancy interior or a bargain bin price tag if they can find something that actually tastes like it was made with effort. The failure of the luxury restaurant and the budget shack forces the rest of the family to face reality. Their attempts to bypass the work with money or shortcuts left them with nothing but losses and a bad reputation. This forces a change in the family dynamic. The older brothers and sisters-in-law return to the street corner, but this time they aren't competing. They use their cars for transport and their accounting skills to support the one model that actually worked. But as they grow, they keep a strict boundary. No matter how many plates they sell or how much they expand, the core of the recipe stays exactly as Neha started it, hand-ground and cooked over a real flame. Money is a tool that can buy a better location or faster distribution, but it cannot manufacture the depth of flavor that comes from manual work. In any crowded work-in, when forced to choose between a shiny exterior and something made with genuine effort, people will almost always choose the one they can actually taste.